Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News, correspondent for Real America's Voice News and the Wendy Bell Radio Network. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. First and foremost, I would like to ask my audience if you can just confirm the audio. How is the audio doing? We are going to do this video in English, and then after this, we are going to do it in Spanish. So I want to ask to my audience, how is the audio doing? How's the audio doing? Audio check. Good. Okay. God bless everybody that is watching. God bless everybody, man. This has gotten, and I don't know until when. A lot of the people are saying, well, Biden administration is creating jobs. He's creating jobs, all right. Great jobs he's creating, incentivizing the biggest and the most largest mass migration ever through every border, incentivizing the cartel, incentivizing the organized crime, incentivizing organizations, organized crime groups to operate. And now the Biden administration is incentivizing not only that, we're live at Getter also. Thank you so much at Getter for joining. Thank you. Thank you so much at Getter. How's everybody at Getter? Let me see how we're doing in the chat in Getter. It used to show, thank you so much at Getter. Thank you. Say hello to Getter. But not only that, I want to show you some images. And the most important thing about this is that I want to show you how they're operating now. And this has been shown for the longest of time on how these people are operating and how these people are now taking advantage of this situation and promoting, most amazingly, for everybody that does not understand the level of operation that they're now consistently doing this. It is going to shock you in a few ways. But the most important thing is that we have the evidence. And as we have the evidence, we want to show you how these individuals are operating from Central America. From Central America. All the way from Central America, they're operating on the biggest smuggling scheme, the huge profit that they're making. And we're going to right now do some mathematics on how much they're making. For example, the other day, more than 50 migrants were surprisingly caught in the areas of, particularly in Tijuana, trying to cross to the United States of America, and they jumped the wall and they crossed to the United States of America. But I want to show you, what I want to show you is the reality with evidence, which for me has always been one of the keys for us to continue with our broadcast. Is one of the main keys for us to continue with our broadcast. And this is the number one thing why I wanted to show you this. These are travel agencies. Remember, I have been talking to you guys about these travel agents. Now they are known as travel agents for people that don't understand. And this has been happening since these also leftist progressive activists, that they are mercenary activists. These people, they know that how they take advantage of the asylum and refuge from the United States. So they are advisors on how to get to the border to achieve the political and refugee asylum. Everybody has the right to migrate. I'm that kind of guy. Everybody has the right to migrate, but there's a way, documented peacefully and with a purpose. I will put on screen right now something that is not going to It is going to shock you in a lot of ways. And it is the travel banner at promotion, how they are promoting in Central America. This is how they are promoting in Central America. This is one of the banners, and I will explain one of the banners, and then I will go to the interview that I did with one lady that she suffered, and I will translate the interview for a lot of you guys that they don't know what these travel advisors, so-called travel advisors, they're coyotes. They take advantage of the most vulnerable migrant. They tell them it is going to be okay. You're not going to go through the jungle. You're not going to go through the Darien Gap. You're not going to go through no different struggle. Everything is going to be so easy. And then they end up going through the most horrible nightmare. First, before I move on, give it a like to this video. Share this video. Give it a like to this video. Help me out, people. Like the video on Facebook. Like the video on YouTube. Like the video on Facebook. Like the video on YouTube. And also, we're live at Getter. We're live at Getter. So like the video at Getter. Share the video at Getter. I don't know how many people we got at Getter. It's not. I don't see it anymore. It's a new thing right now at Getter. I used to see how many are there in chat, but I believe there are more than 300 at Getter. We are live at Twitter also. Share and like the video, and also buy me a coffee. It is on the pin on the chat. If you guys liked to contribute to our independent reporting and travel fund, we're going to be traveling soon. Buy me a coffee is pinned on the chat on YouTube. Help us out so we can continue. On this banner, first example of these travel agencies, that they are in WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, Facebook groups, and all types of platforms like Instagram groups and TikTok groups. They're all infiltrated and all over the place. It says on the bottom, on the top, to the United States, flag, flag, flag. And it says through Nicaragua, without the jungle, without walking, giving you a security and trustworthy security from Cucuta. Cucuta is the borderline between Colombia and Panama and Venezuela. It is a little town that is connected between the three of them. They're promoting little by little. From here, you can get it all the way over there. Why you want to move? Why you want to move walking? These are the jobs that the Biden administration is incentivizing. Let me move to the other one so you can be more amazed. It says on the top, we're leaving on the 12th of September. Whatever part, your destination, from Colombia, from Ecuador, from Peru, from Chile, from Argentina, all the way to the United States. On the bottom, it says, whoever's traveling from Peru, Lima, and Santiago de Chile, these are the days that we are going to leave. So they have dates now. Holy cow. Let me just log into this. Hey, Juan, let us log into this link. When are they leaving? When are we going to talk to the travel agent, the so-called travel agent, guide, coyote? That's a job, John. You cannot criticize that, man. It has a travel agency. These are the jobs. On the bottom, it says, whoever's traveling to Lima, Peru, and also to Santiago de Chile, these are the days. Now, on the bottom, it says, whoever's traveling to the United States, we are leaving on the 12th of September, Venezuela and Colombia flag. Then we are going to travel to the island of San Andres, going around the Darien Gap. I will show you a little video of a migrant sharing how they went around the Darien Gap. These are the promotions of these travel agencies, travel agents, now called travel agents. Let me show you another one. There's a lot of them. Look at this one. Doesn't it sound familiar? Tapachula. How many times have traveled to that particular place? How many times we have documented the migrant phenomenon in Tapachula? What does Tapachula have to do with what is happening in Central America and South America? Tapachula is the biggest bottleneck and humongous jump trampoline of a border to get from point Z to point A to the United States of America. And it says right there on the bottom, it says travel. On the top, it says travel from Colombia with your passport. It doesn't even matter if your passport is revoked. It is not up to date. It does not even matter. We give you a cédula vigente. We give you a document that it will provide you a travel. What the hell? I thought that all the governments were transparent. I thought that all the governments we were doing okay. Amazing. This is another one. Look at this conversation. This is the conversation with the travel agent. My God, I like this kind of information. Holy cow. These are beautiful, beautiful information with beautiful, credible evidence, comparable evidence. Look what the conversation says on the top. Conversation started at 7:39 p.m. And it says, "Hey, good evening. My friend, I'm trying to figure it out how to get my wife to the United States of America." And then the travel agent responds, "Good evening. Who is recommending you? Who sent you over here?" Then the person responds, "Your number, Beto gave it to me. I used to live in San Cristobal, and now I decided to come and live in the border of Cucuta in Colombia." And then it says right there, the response, "Okay, my friend, without touching and without going through the Darien Gap, this is how much I am asking for. $4,500 with a guide on board." $4,500 with a guide on board. So let me tell you, let me just put right here an example. $4,500. And how is this comparable and how is this credible? I will put an interview that I did in Tapachula with a migrant that she was cheated on, and they cheated on her, telling her that she was not going to go through the Darien Gap, and she went through the Darien Gap, and then they abused her. They abused her, her child, and so many other people, and people were brutally abused, and some of them, they did not survive that travesty. And I asked that migrant how much they charge you, and she said $4,200. So sounds around exactly the same amount. And then she calls them travel agents, travel advisor. So this sounds around the amount that they're asking for. So it's $4,500, give or take. I'm asking, as the experience that we have shown you guys for almost 5 years, and the experience that my brother, Real Anthony Agüero, which I'm telling you, follow him as he is exposing in Arizona, and also my brother, Ben Berquam, Real America's Boys News Frontline America, as we have exposed how many people arrive in one shot one time. Some of them have seen 400. Some of them have seen 100 crossing through Yuma, Arizona. Let me just give you 100. So you got 100 people right here. I'm adding right here on the phone. 100 people right here. You multiply that by $4,500. It gives you only $450,000. $450,000 on only 100 people. Holy moly. This is a conversation about the travel agent. Let me read it to you again, the conversations, just so we can move on to the other conversation, how it goes little by little. It says, "Hi, good evening. A friend recommended me to talk to you, and I want to bring my wife to the United States." The travel agent responds, "How you doing? Who recommended you?" "Beto is the one. He gave me your number. I live in San Cristobal, but now I decided to come to Cucuta to live." "Okay, my friend, without traveling through the Darien Gap, this is how much I charge. $4,500 with a guide on board." Holy cow. Holy moly. Now, let's go to another. This is the next conversation as the conversation keeps going. So she responds, "What is the dates that you're going out?" Remember that banner that I put you the first? This is the way that they're promoting on groups. So I can program myself, she says. Then the guide says, or the travel agent sends the banner that I shown you before. And then she says, 12th of September, I don't think that I can make it. I don't have that much money. But I have seen a lot of problems going through Mexico. That is the most difficult part. People that I have known, they have told me that Mexico, it is more difficult to cross than their own jungle. Holy. And I'm going to tell you why. For those people that criticize so much of the Mexican government is the one that is basically not giving them the immediate access because of the enormous corruption that coexists with the document. That a lot of these governmental officials, they're making a lot of money on this document that is called the multiple migration form or the humanitarian visa, which is the one document that gives the migrants so they can travel freely into Mexico. So a lot of agents in Mexico are making a lot of money, and a lot of them, the process is more hurtful. It takes a long time. So after this, the conversation keeps going with the travel agent. And then it goes, yeah, but you can go through San Andres, the island, without going through the Darien Gap. And from Nicaragua, it takes you around 6 hours, it responds. All the way to Tapachula. Right there, it takes you a little bit because of the paperwork. They don't explain the enormous suffering of the migrants. Look how these travel agents, they do not care about your life. They do not explain the multiple caravans, how you are walking for more than 290 kilometers to get to another state so you can get your paperwork so you can transport yourself all the way to the northern borders. They don't tell you that you have to sleep on the street without food, without water, all of that. No. They only respond to this, and we have shown the catastrophe in Tapachula. It says it takes you a little bit so you can get your permit in that border. And then the person responds, 6 hours from Nicaragua to Mexico. Are the permits included? And how much is going to take them to give us the permits? And then it says right here, the travel agent responds, San Andres, Nicaragua, from there to Tapachula, let's give or take 5 days or more. And in Tapachula, you got to make a line. You got to stay there. They don't explain the catastrophe in Tapachula. They don't explain the horrendous situation in Tapachula. No, the travel agent just trying to sell you out. Then after that, it says, It says the response of the person says, "My wife is carrying a 3-year-old child, and I don't want to have a struggle in that journey with him." And then he responds, "For that group, we have a appointed date for family groups." Wow. For family groups, you got an appointed date also. Holy cow. That's nice, isn't it? That for family groups, you also have an appointed date. Let's give it a hand clap to Joe Biden for this incentivized jobs. For Jean-Pierre, the head chief of the public speaker of the White House, which she says, "You're not gonna tell me when I should travel to the southern border. I have been there since 2018. Let's give it a hand clap to them. Let's give it a hand clap to all of them. They're doing a phenomenal job. Great job, Mallorcas. You're doing a great job. Let's give it a hand clap to Kamala Harris. Holy cow, you are doing a great job. This is another one. Look at this one. This is, and I'm saving the last one, the last banner for you to just understand how Governor Abbott has promoted New York in the world. You know, the ones that support Governor Abbott, that he's shifting a lot of people to New York. You know that he's actually promoting New York, right? Governor Abbott is promoting New York. And to all the Abbott supporters, this banner goes to you. But first, another one. This one. Oh, no. Let's go first to this one. Travel to the United States. They got the sealed that says guaranteed on the side. By plane, look from where? Do you remember a couple of days ago that I was doing a report on 50 migrants? They jumped the wall, but they arrived on a plane from Colombia to over here. Do you guys remember that? How they arrived on a plane? That's impossible. Where did they get the route? How did they get the route? How did they get that to understand? Buy me a coffee is on the bottom link. Thank you so much for contributing to our independent reporting and travel fund. Buy me a coffee is on the bottom link. Esto no es justificación. Esto no es justificación. This is not justifiable. Oscar, esto no es nada nuevo y tú lo sabes, este sistema ha sido por muchos años. Esto no es justificación. Y porque ha sido por muchos años, vamos a seguir admitiendo que está bien. Esto ha pasado desde las antepasadas administraciones. No nomás es Biden. Esto, no. Esto está pasando ahorita. Déjense de justificar. It says right there on the routes, as I was telling you, 50 migrants cross the wall. I was not amazed by the quantity of 50. I was more amazed of how they traveled on a plane all the way from Colombia to Tijuana and directed to one particular point. So this is what it says. Travel to the United States. Our route starts from Cucuta, Bogota, San Andres on a plane. Plane also, it puts a little island, so that means that you can travel by sea. San Andres, Nicaragua on a boat. From Nicaragua and Honduras on a bus. From Honduras to Guatemala on a bus. And from Guatemala to Mexico on a bus. Hijos de la chinga. Hijo de la chinga. Esto tampoco es justificable. Sí, no hay justificación, pero no lo hagas saber como es algo nuevo. Esto ha existido por muchísimos años ya, no es cierto. Sí ha existido por muchísimos años, pero no como ahora. No lo traten de tapar. Esto es lo que hace que los tapen. No traten de taparlo. Ah, eso siempre ha existido. Como el tráfico de niños. Ah, eso siempre ha existido. No es nada nuevo. Los asesinatos a mujeres en México. Ah, eso siempre ha existido. Eso no es nada nuevo. Ay, hombre, que se quejan. This is unbelievable. How they have little promoting things that basically is telling you from Cucuta to Bogota on a plane, from Bogota to San Andres on a plane, and then you move to the island on a boat. From San Andres to Nicaragua on a boat, 2 boats. It shows right there. You're gonna use 2 boats. From Nicaragua to Honduras on a bus. From Honduras to Guatemala on a bus. And from Guatemala to Mexico on another bus. Holy moly. And I'm going to do this video in Spanish after I finish this live feed. Now, this last one, I am going to save it for all of you. This is what Governor Abbott has been doing. Statue of Liberty. There you go. Statue of Liberty. I will give you guys some 10 seconds to just let me get myself out of the screen so I can you can just evaluate what Governor Abbott has been doing. Let me just get out. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. I want to be New York, New York. In a city that doesn't sleep. And find I'm king of the hill. It has always existed. Somebody said there, right there in Spanish. Siempre ha existido, no hay pedo. Tú síguele, eso siempre ha existido, no lo hagas ver como que es nuevo. This has always been happening. Why you're talking about it like that? It has always happened. You're making it like it's brand new. You're making it look like it's new. Has always existed. Governor Abbott, that is the promotion that he has been doing. And it says right there, special exit on the 15th of September. Hey, the day that Mexico celebrates our independence. And on the top, you see the flags of Colombia, also from Nicaragua, Guatemala, Honduras, and Mexico. And it says right there, Mario Tours. This guy has a name. This guy has a name over there in the holy cow. God, so ridiculous. This guy has a Mario Tours. Mario. It says Mario Tours on the top. Says with passport from San Andres. Permitted. Mario Tours on the bottom. And it says with security and responsibility. Reservation. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel right there on the bottom. You got the New York. Also, they guarantee you that you're going to have TV. VIP right there on the top. I wanted a part of it. New York, New York. So you got a VIP section. And in the VIP section, they give you TV. They give you, they got AC. You got Wi-Fi. You got music. Also, they give you, it looks like a phone and some headphones. Also, they provide you all the transportation. And it puts a plane, a yacht, and a first-class bus right there. Holy moly. Holy moly. Thank you so much, ignorante. El que dice que siempre ha existido, señores, no tapen la violencia. Exactamente. El que dice que siempre ha existido es porque es parte del problema. Porque es parte del problema. Es parte del problema. El que dice esto siempre ha existido, esto no es nada nuevo, eres parte de esto. Eres parte del cáncer, de poner en personas en riesgo y arriesgar su vida y su integridad física. Tú eres parte de ese cáncer. Holy moly, people. So that is the promotion that basically Governor Abbott is doing right now. So it's $4,500 to travel to New York. How many? My God, I don't even know. Can somebody do the multiplication? Right now, they're estimating that it's 150,000. 150,000 they have entered in the past months. Supposedly it's 150,000. Let me just multiply right here. 150,000. 150,000 right there. Let me multiply it by $4,500. Holy shit. No, that's not okay. 150,000 per 4,500. 150,000 multiplied by 4,500. I'm just, holy cow, we're in the wrong side of business, people. We start promoting to New York. We need to start promoting to New York. Okay. Anywhere is up to you. New York, New York. Holy cow. That's just That's just 150,000. That's 150,000. 150,000 only applicable. Now, this is, thank you, Governor Abbott, for the Texas people. Anthony, you're watching? Anthony, you're there. Anthony, copy, 10-4, Anthony. Anthony, are you there? Anthony. So skinny. Anthony, you there? Anthony, Widow, Anthony, copy. Anthony, you there? Anthony, I thought that you were there. This is your governor. This is what your governor is doing, brother. It's nice. And I'm just doing with comparable numbers of what they're estimating and how it's better to just hear it out from an own, migrant that paid that amount of money. So this is a video of a migrant crossing this island. As you can see, all the way to the back. It's a 15-second clip. All the way to the back. All the way. You see that little island right there? You see that little island? That little island all the way to the back. Little island all the way to the back, right there. That little island is where they are promoting that you can travel from one point A to point another one. This is a migrant that is saying, my God, beautiful. We just arrived.
Mira qué bello. Qué bello, mira. Llegando a tierra firme, nicaragüense. Sí se puede, señores, sí se puede.
We are arriving to Nicaraguan islands. Yes, we can, people. Yes, we can. Is this documented peaceful migration? The United Nations, where are you? How many people have died to try to accomplish this? This is for the rich migrant. This is for the rich migrant. The one that has the money. That persecuted politician. That guy that has money that he's migrating under names of refugee and asylum or persecuted case. This is you right there. Now, after this, let me put pause right here. I think that's about it. We sang New York, New York. Let us go right here to this. Hold on, right here. 1 second. Hold on. Last thing before I go. And this is a reality. You know how I just shown you guys how they are promoting and how they are basically asking for this amount of money, and the amount of money is $4,200, and this is the amount that they're asking, and $4,500. That is the amount that they're asking. Now, this is the reality. This is what really occurs. Thank you so much. Buy me a coffee. Thank you. Buy me a coffee is on the bottom link. If you guys like to contribute to our independent reporting and travel fund in YouTube, buy me a coffee is on the bottom link. Thank you so much. Now, this is the reality. This is the crude reality. This is the other flip side. This is what is really happening. Look at this interview that I did. And I will translate every single part so you can understand how these travel agents, they're operating, but some of them, they do not care about humanitarian life. Look at this.
No llega a Colombia, en Colombia están famosos asesores de viaje.
We arrived to Colombia, and from Colombia, we are directed to the travel advisors. We arrived to Colombia, and from Colombia, we are directed to the travel advisors. These are statements from a migrant. Not me. These are statements from a migrant. We arrived to Colombia, and we are directed to these travel advisors. Look what she says next.
Pagué una cierta cantidad de dinero para cruzar hasta México.
I paid a certain amount of money to cross all the way to Mexico. Remember the banners? Do you guys remember the banners? Or do you want me to put them again on? Do you guys remember the banners that I was putting on, which it says all the way to Mexico? You guys remember that? So she said, I paid a certain amount of money to go all the way to Mexico.
Por la frontera con mi familia.
Through the borders with my family. I paid a certain amount of money to pay so I can arrive to Mexico through the borders with my family. And I immediately interrupted her and I said, you paid a coyote? You paid somebody like that? How much you paid?
Pagué $4,250.
I paid $4,250. Sounds around the amount that they're charging. Remember how much they're charging. They said this guy by the name, and I will stop the screen right here. Stop the screen. Let me remove this from the screen. Let me remove this because I want to put this on screen now. I want to put this on the screen. And I want to put it on the screen because she just said, how much you paid? I asked her, how much you paid? And she said, I paid $4,250. That's how much I paid. You guys remember this banner that I was explaining to you guys, this conversation? It says right here on the bottom, the travel agent having a conversation with a person that's trying to get to the United States. And it says right here, without touching the Darien Gap, and there is picture, and plus 2 pictures. It says 4,500 with a guide on board. So basically, it is a reality. This is how much they are charging. Between $4,250 to $4,500. This is how much they're charging. But that is not it. Look at the travesties. This is what the Biden administration is doing to the whole continent. You are promoting and incentivizing the organized crime to continue to operate and risking people's lives. Look how much she said, $4,250. Look at her statements. And poor person, man, I'm so sad about this woman, man, because she was taking advantage. And let me just 2 things. It's going to sound cruel the way that I'm going to say it, but you put yourself in this particular horrible situation. You put yourself on these situations where you put your life on the hands of these criminal people. These people that they take advantage of. They take advantage, particularly of the migrants. Look what she says right here next.
Desde Colombia hasta acá. Supuesto.
I paid $4,250 for all the way from Colombia to over here. Exactly what that travel agency is saying. And it says, and then I say, sort type of you paid a coyote, a trafficker, that kind of a person you paid. And look what how she rephrases herself.
Entre guías y un coyote.
Between guides and one coyote, I paid that amount.
van pasando de país a país. Resulta que cuando llegamos nos dijeron que no íbamos nunca a cruzar el Darien.
We were going through country to country. When we arrived, they told us that we were not going to go through the Darien Gap.
Que íbamos a ir por lanchas, que no sé qué más.
Well, we were going to go on a boat, like the promoting agents are saying, and we were going to go around the Darien Gap.
Cuando llegaron nos llevaron a Necoclí.
When we arrived, they took us to another island, another place that is called Necoclí. Really dangerous place.
Lancha hasta Necoclí. De Necoclí.
With boat, they took us on a boat to Necoclí, and from there, from Necoclí, another boat.
Llegamos a Capulganá.
From Necoclí, they took us on another boat to another place that is called Capulganá.
Pasamos de Necoclí a Capulganá en lancha, y en Capulganá 3 días después nos llevaron a la selva adentro.
And 3 days after staying in Capulganá, they took us to inside of the Darien Gap. So whatever these people are promoting, that they're saying you're not touching the jungle, you're not touching the Darien Gap, you're not touching that, it is a complete blatant lie, because you got an evidence right here. One evidence. A lot of them possibly they go around it. Some of them possibly don't. But look how she says right here, another thing.
Día caminando 18 horas.
We walked more than 18 hours inside of the jungle.
Ese día vi morir una chica de 27 años al lado mío.
Those 18 hours, I saw a young woman by 27-year-old dying. She pronounced dead on the side of me when I was there.
En uno de los pantanos, porque hay pantanos que le da.
And one of the swamps that it was there, the swamps started getting to my knees, and from my knees to my ankles, and some of the swamps are really dangerous.
Le da uno por las rodillas, más abajo de las rodillas, más arriba de las rodillas. Son pantanos cansadores.
These are really dangerous swamps that we go through, and you get really exhausted going through these swamps.
Uno todo el día caminando sin comer, sin tomar agua.
We were really exhausted walking without no food, without no water.
Con las mochilas el primer día de
We were carrying our backpacks the first day.
Segundo día de viaje.
That was the second day of our trip. Imagine that.
Llegamos a una isla.
We arrived to an island.
Nos pasan en unas piraguas, en unas canoas, nos cobran.
They took us from that island on a canoe, and they asked us for
$10.
$10 for each person.
Llegando ahí, llegamos a la isla Armila.
From there, we arrived to another island that is called Armila.
En Armila nos dejan descansar el día siguiente, al otro día nos sacan.
In Armila, they let us rest, and until the next day, they took us out.
4 de la mañana a otra isla más.
They took us to another island at 4 o'clock in the morning. They made us wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to another island.
Caminar por la orilla de la playa 6 horas. Llegamos.
From there, we waited 6 hours. This is not the trip. This is not the trip that is being advertised on this brochure. This is not the trip. Now, listen more.
Vamos a otra isla. En esa isla nos cobran $10 más por dentro.
We went to another island, and that other island, they made us pay another $10.
Nos dan una tira.
From there, they give us, another option.
Nos dejan descansar.
They let us rest.
En las arenas, en los pisos, como mejor vengan.
They let us rest on the sands, on the floors, and however we are, however we rested.
Y de ahí nos paran otra vez a las 4 de la mañana a subir.
And from there, they woke us up at 4 o'clock in the morning to start walking again.
Después de las 4 de la mañana, ya los famosos guías.
After 4 o'clock in the morning, the famous guides, the travel agents, arrived.
Antes de llegar a Armila,
from before arriving to Armila.
2 horas antes de llegar a la isla 2 horas antes de llegar a la bandera.
Before 2 hours before arriving to a place that is called the flag.
Los guías se desaparecen.
The guides and the travel agents, they disappear. That's it. I'm done. They disappeared. I'm done. Saying that they took him there, the travel agents and the guides, they disappeared. This is what she says after.
Porque dice que si los agarra la Guardia Panameña van presos.
And they disappeared because they told us that if the National Guard from Panama grabbed them, they were going to take them prisoners.
Ahí se desaparecieron. Mi familia toda se dispersó porque yo me doblé el tobillo y no podía caminar.
All my family, they got dispersed, and I stayed behind because I sprained my ankle.
Paso de los guías ni de ellos, me quedé lento. Todos llegaron a la bandera como a eso
Everybody arrived to this part that is called the flag
de las 4 de la tarde.
around 4 o'clock in the evening.
Yo llegué a las 8 de la noche.
I arrived there around 8 o'clock at night because I sprained my ankle, so I was walking real slow.
Estaba ya con 2 personas nada más porque nos
I was there and I arrived and I was only with 2 people when I arrived.
quedamos solos. Luego del día siguiente
And I stayed alone because I was way back. You know, I stayed all the way back because of my ankle.
que nos paramos a las 6 de la mañana, 6
We woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. They told us to walk.
horas después de bajar la bandera, fui abusada sexualmente.
And 6 hours after going down this mountain that is called the flag, I was abused and brutally assaulted sexually.
Habían, creo que 2 haitianos
And there was around 12 people, 12 men from Haiti.
con sus esposas y sus esposos,
All of them, they were with their husbands, and all of them were couples.
un dominicano
There was a Dominican also there
que le dieron un balazo en la cabeza.
who the cartel shot them in the hip, or the Indians on the reservations that they control the reservation area, they shot them on the hip.
Por cierto, creo que era una colombiana o una venezolana y mi persona.
And there was other 2 people that it was like a woman that it was Colombian or Venezuelan descent, and myself.
Todas las mujeres fuimos abusadas sexualmente,
We were brutally sexually assaulted right there.
brutalmente. Nos golpeaban, nos pegaban.
They brutally hurt us. They brutally, took advantage of us.
A mí me reventaron el oído.
They exploded our ear. They exploded my ear with the way that they were hurting me. And then I asked a question: who abused you? Who was the one that abused you? Who were the guilty ones? Then she says this:
Son los indios de la isla Alticuna.
these are Indians from the island Alticuna.
Una. Después de la primera isla que termina, la segunda isla, y los pude reconocer.
Did they hit you? That they did something to you? What did they do?
Golpearon, me abusaron.
They brutally hurt me. They abused me. And I said, did they arrive all of a sudden from nowhere? From out of nowhere, they arrived.
Llegaron, robaron a todos que están ahí, nos
They arrived. They stole our belongings. They took advantage of everybody.
robaron con los armamentos.
They had guns. They had automatic weapons. They took all from us.
El chico dominicano que se quiso dejar robar.
There was a Dominican kid who didn't want to take advantage of and did not want his stuff to be stolen, so he got shot on the hip.
Dispararon y a las mujeres, a las haitianas las violaron frente a sus
And then the Haitian women, they raped them in front of their husbands.
esposos. A mí en particular me agarraron por acá por los
And me in particularly, they pulled me from the hair. They dragged me all the way to another side of the mountain
cabellos junto con una chica que no sé
and with another girl that I don't know where she was from.
diferencia su país, su nacionalidad.
I don't know her nationality, but they pulled her also to the side.
No sé si era gocha venezolana o si era colombiana.
I don't know if she was gocha venezolana or she was Colombian.
Nos llevaron arriba una parte de un cerro.
No, they took us to both of us to a part of a mountain.
Nos golpearon, nos maltrataron.
They took advantage of us. They hit us. They basically abused us.
Dijeron tantas
They really insulted us in a way that I'm never going to forget that.
atrocidades con los armamentos.
They did so much atrocities with their automatic weapons. They put their automatic weapons in our private parts.
Metían por las partes íntimas de nosotros. Nos escupían, nos pateaban.
They spit us. They stepped all over us.
Me reventaron acá, quedé inconsciente.
They left me to a point that I was unconscious.
La chica fue muerta, la mataron.
The girl was pronounced dead after the multiple abuse that they did to her. She was assassinated right there.
No sé si habrán encontrado su cuerpo o no.
I don't know if they found her body or not.
Pero particularmente después de eso quedé inconsciente.
But particularly after that, I was unconscious for several hours.
No sé cuánto tiempo duré allí, creo que
I don't know how many hours I was there, but
alrededor de 2 de 3 horas cuando me desperté.
Around 2 to 3 hours that I woke up,
Desnuda, a vestirme, empecé a pegar
I was naked and I started screaming for help.
gritos, auxilio, auxilio, estaba sola en la selva, me perdí 10 días
I was alone in the jungle. I lost myself for 10 days.
en la selva. En la selva uno se pierde.
And, in the jungle, you get lost and you see so many people that I traveled with many people alongside. And that is the way that I got out of the jungle. And now you see me right here in Mexico. Travel agents. Are they trustworthy? This is where I wanted to go. You're promoting New York. You're promoting boats. You put videos on your social media, making them look like they're phenomenal and they're okay. You're promoting food. You're promoting Wi-Fi. You got the travel VIP area. You got all of that. You're promoting first top of the line trafficking, smuggling. You're promoting top of the line trafficking or smuggling, these travel agents. And then there is this, the most vulnerable migrant, the one that says, you know what, there's only one way. There's no education towards the migrants on how to migrate safely, documented, regularly, with the process. There's no education on that. The education that the Biden administration that is incentivizing to the whole continent to know, it is that you can take a travel agent, and that a travel agent, so-called trafficker, coyote slash, it is the only resource of transportation for you to get to point A to point B. It is the only resource for you to get to the promised land, to the United States of America. It is the only resource of transportation. There's no other more. You got the travel agents. That's who you need to get. Nobody else. Meanwhile, you got Jean-Pierre standing at a White House saying, you don't need to tell me what to do and when I should go to the border. It is a challenge. It is not a crisis. It is a challenge. It is not a crisis. Go and tell this woman right here that she was brutally abused, and how so many women and children sadly have been brutally abused in the Darien Gap. Go to tell them if this is a challenge for them. Go and tell them if this is a challenge for them. Go ask a migrant. Just be yourself and say, is this a challenge or is this a crisis, what is happening in your countries? Go and ask them. Oh my God, you don't understand that the word challenge. We're trying to say challenge because we're trying to surpass and we're trying to overcome with the Trump administration that's so wrong, so fear-mongering, creating hysteria at the border and conspiracy theories. And also, oh my God, they're QAnon and so white supremacist, white imperialist, xenophobic, transphobic, homophobic, pronoun-phobic, all of the phobics that you can even imagine, racist, fascist, all of that. Holy cow, people. Travel advisors. Jobs that Joe Biden is creating. We just did a hypothetical number. Let's say 150,000. And it says 675 million. Without even being in the United States of America. These travel agents, they operate not from Colombia. They don't operate from Venezuela. They operate from places that they are around the world. They're vacationing. They have the connections. They're on the phone talking. Laptops operating. What jobs? The jobs that he's incentivizing for the organized crime. Kathy Baker. Those are the jobs that he's creating. Sad. And these kind of cases are the ones that you take home and you have to digest. And when you get home, I did a live feed, and I don't know why it was taken down and a platform that I did. I was so upset because still you have these people that they're calling this a challenge when you have this enormous operation. It is, oh my God. And then you have incompetent individuals coming in and saying this has always existed, Oscar. Don't talk about it like it's brand new. This has always been there. Get the hell out of here. You're part of the cancer. You're part of that problem. If you're making this look like it's always been there, it's no problem. Don't making it look, yeah, it is bad. We already know that it's bad and it needs to stop. But you're trying to make it look like it's not new. Like, get the hell out of here. Get out. Get out. Get out. You're part of that problem. You're part of that problem if you're implementing that kind of language and blocking those linguistics to get out. You are part of that problem. Nobody else. You are. Travel agents. Travel advisors. Unbelievable, isn't it? A little bit, won't you believe? And when we travel, it haunts you sometimes late at night. When you hear so many sad stories when you're traveling and you're taking all that energy in. The last caravan that I was at, man, I had to cleanse my energy so bad, man. It took me days to feel myself a little bit relieved. It was so heavy. So heavy. And it is just the enormous violence that exists and the vulnerable people that they are and the infiltrated individuals that they are. Those infiltrated, they're bad people. And then you got the most vulnerable migrants that they're actually legitimate cases. And then you got the cases that they're not. And then you got all this suffering and then it's like story after story after story. Like, holy moly. And then you get to a point that you're listening to Jean Pierre, the White House speaker, and then she says, this is a challenge. How suffocating that is for us, the reporters that we're down there on the ground reporting. Say hello to the War Room posse, that we're reporting for the War Room and Real America's Voice News. Suffocating to hear. It's like, oh my God, when they say that this is not a crisis, that this is a challenge for them. Stop creating hysteria at the border, fear-mongering, the linguistics that they use to oppress the truth to come out. Disgusting. CNN, MSNBC, PBS, CBS, Democracy Now!, Daily Beast. My man, LA Times. Come on. Just give it a try. Tell it like it is. Give it a try. It doesn't hurt you to say the truth. It doesn't hurt you to say this president is really conflicting and is really causing a lot of humanitarian problems. Try to take some personal responsibility in journalistic ethics. Try to be honest with what you're typing, for God's sake. Holy cow. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News, correspondent for Real America's Voice News and the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Download the app. Real America's Voice News is free. Go to Wendy Bell Radio Network app. It is free. Also, Mr. Brock and Miss Wendy from the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Beautiful network. Beautiful people. Gorgeous people. Both of them. Go over there if you want to get the best broadcast podcast show on the whole planet. Go over there and watch Wendy Bell Radio Network. Nobody explains it better than her. I admire that woman so much. And also Mr. Brock. And ultimately, Real America's Voice News, Ben Berquan, Frontline America with Ben Berquan. Love my brother. War Room. from the War Room Posse and all the shows that they are in Real America's Boys News. Download the app. My brother also, Real Anthony Agüero. Follow him at all platforms. We're going to be traveling soon. But we are going to be traveling to a place where we are going to discover this. Little by little, I throw a little left hook, right hook, so you guys can know where am I going. I will not tell you, but by showing this info, you will know where I'm going. And you have to experience it yourself. Life and death situations with journalism is an adrenaline. We've gone through it in Guatemala. But we experienced it. It is the only way to provide information, credible, reality, and truth information. Thank you so much for joining in. Buy me a coffee. It is pinned on the chat on YouTube. I don't know how many people we got on YouTube. Also, for people that want to contribute on Getter, you can go to my my YouTube right now. The ones that are listening on Getter, you can go to my YouTube and basically. If you want to contribute, there's the Buy Me a Coffee pin in the chat. This is travel agents. You want to go to Hawaii? Go and talk to a travel agent over there in Central America. He will let you know. Thank you to the people at Getter. Give it a like to this video. Share this video. Also, we are live at Twitter and we are live at YouTube and Facebook. God bless you all. Follow me at Facebook as Oscar L. Blue. YouTube, Oscar Blue Ramirez. Twitter, Oscar L. Blue. Instagram, Oscar L. Blue Ramirez. Or Oscar L. Blue Team. Getter, Oscar Blue Ramirez. Instagram, Getter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I don't even know which one, which else. I really don't know. Thank you. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. And like we always say, people, peace and love. Because always, your country's first. God bless and stay safe.
We're in the middle of everything. They're carrying a child. Look at this. They're carrying a child. Look at this. This is horrible.
Ustedes tienen familia, somos inmigrantes, no somos delincuentes. Somos inmigrantes, no somos delincuentes.
Discúlpeme, oficial. They have encapsulated them. They're pushing. Now they're pushing. Some of them, they're escaping underneath to the ranches. Look at this, man. They're throwing rocks. They're hitting the National Guard officers. Throwing rocks over here.
Gosh, what a scene to see really unfolding here, and having them use that rope so that they're all able to stay together is really interesting to see all this happen, Oscar.
violence and homicides. Due to this factor, the military was able to Tijuana. Entry of San Isidro next door to the city of Tijuana, Mexico. Migrants looking for asylum from Ukraine arrived to the
Roto, señores, las barreras. Ya no los pueden controlar. They have broke the barriers. They cannot control them.